check about our whole environment. So this is the architecture I showed you before. Again, on the left side, you see our on-premises servers. These could also run at other cloud providers. And we actually installed the Azure Arc server on these machines. And they are now part of Azure as an Azure resource in the Azure Resource Manager. And we can then onboard different Azure management services like Azure Monitor, Azure Update Management, or now what I'm going to show you now is Azure Policy. So let's have a quick demo for Azure Arc configuration management with Azure guest configuration policies. So here I'm back in the Azure portal, and you can see here the machine we recently onboarded to Azure Arc, and it again shows up as a Azure resource. And if we have a quick look at that machine, you can see here the status of the machine is connected, it's joined to a resource group, to a subscription. So it is now an Azure resource. So let's switch to Azure Policy. And Azure Policy lets me manage all these policies for my environment. And let's create a new assignment. So I'm going to assign a new policy. I'm going to select the scope. This can be a management group, subscription, resource group, or even a resource. So in our case, we're just going to select a resource group. And then I'm going to select the policy definition. And we have some built-in ones here, which you can leverage. And so we're looking for one, which basically checks if automatically update protection signatures are deployed. So we can select that, and then we can give that a description. Now, these are built, as I mentioned, built in, so you can just start using them. You can also build your own if you wanted to. So we have a GitHub repository where you actually can find examples how you build your own policies. So I'm assigned that policy, and this will take a while. We can now go to compliance view. It will actually check the compliance state of my systems within that resource group. So we will take the power of video editing and come back a little bit later in time. And you can see here now it says compliant. So if I go to this policy assignment now, I can see here that for my Microsoft anti-malware for Azure should be configured to automatically update protection signatures is working. And I can obviously then see all my compliant resources. I can see if I have non-compliant resources, I can also list those, and I can actually figure out, okay, how many resources are actually not working. I can then go out and see why are they not configured the right way, and then actually take action on this. Now, Azure Policy is a great way, and again, with Azure Arc, we could now see the different servers running in Azure or also outside of Azure next to each other, and we get that single pane of glass where we can see the compliance view about that environment. So that was a quick demo about Azure Arc guest configuration policy. The next technology I want to talk about is Azure Security Center. Now, Azure Security Center really helps us with a couple of different things when it comes to security. It can actually go out and find threats and make us recommendation and alert us. So this is a great service, and you'll probably have seen if you configure your Azure workloads that you can enable that for your specific workloads and subscriptions to get all that information together. What a lot of people don't know is that you can also connect your on-premises, private cloud, and other public cloud provider workloads as well. So how we actually doing that is by using Windows and Linux agents, which then can go and get the Windows event log or syslogs or configurations from these specific servers and other services as well. We then do some normalization, and we add some additional information to these logs with the agent, because then we can make some smarter decisions and give you some smarter recommendations as well. These will be then stored in a scalable log analytics platform, which we're going to see a little bit later, where you can then actually go out and you could already go and export these logs to Excel or Power BI and do your own analytics on it if you wanted to. However, with Azure Security Center, we add a little bit more to it. So what we do is we obviously can also add other